everyone, welcome to the 31st episode of Happy Hour with CarnaticON. Today we have Tejinder Singh, who is one of the top 30 contestants of the YouTube original show called Arrived. Just last week we had one of the top four contestants. Her name was Pooja Tiwari. So today we want to talk to Tej about his journey with the reality show and what it has taken for him to come this far. So hi Tej, how are you?
Hello, hi Archana. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How is the coronavirus situation where you live? Where do you live?
I stay in Navi Mumbai, so the situation here is getting like worse day by day. We are supposed to sit at our home. There's this lockdown situation going on, so you know, just having such kind of interviews and live jams and uh, digital jams, digital live shows now. This is the era of digital shows, so we are doing just that, being a singer performer.
Awesome. So, Tej, I just wanted to give you a little background. Okay, so we are a bunch of technologists. We talk to musicians. We are working with musicians to take Indian music and related genres to a global audience through technology and social platforms. Okay, so this happy hour is is an initiative where we invite an artist every week and we discover their journeys. So the goal is to kind of get more people to understand this art form, get to know your journeys, and also have a little fun with it. So that said, let's get to know you a little more today. What is your background, Tej?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you so much for having me in this happy hour session of CarnaticON. And let me tell you guys are doing such a great job. This is such a great initiative taken by the team of CarnaticON. You are connecting people at global level and connecting them with artists like me. And so thank you so much for having me here. And also kudos to the team of CarnaticON for such a great initiative. So talking about me, I'm a singer, composer, and performer from Navi Mumbai. I'm a I'm born and brought up in Navi Mumbai, and there is no one in my family who was or who is into music. So I don't have a musical background, musical family background. So it is just that पता नहीं मेरे में ये कीड़ा कहाँ से आ गया, but I'm very glad कि ये कीड़ा आया because it is something, it is pure bliss. Music is something which does not have a defined definition, I would say. So I started since long back. I was in, I think, first or second standard in my school when I won one of the singing competitions. And since then, I've been, I have got that confidence in myself, a bit of confidence that yes, I can sing. So, but then there was a very aghast experience I had. It was in the fifth standard, I think, yeah, of my school. So it was a inter-school competition, and the competition was of retro songs. I'll just share a story. It's a short story. So what happened was, it was a retro songs competition, and I was not aware of many retro songs then. So I thought of participating in that, and it was the first time when I stood out of my school to participate any of the singing competition. And I asked my mom that what should I sing. So she suggested me one of very beautiful songs of olden times. That was Baharo Phul Barsao. So I never heard that song. I just I when I was supposed to sing it for the competition, I thought of just listening it. And what I did was I by hearted the tune, the melody, the lyrics, and because I was not aware that if you want to, sing something naturally, you should go on listening that song again and again. You're not supposed to by heart the lyrics and melody. But I was not aware that time, so I did that, and I went on the stage, uh, and I sang the mukra. Then the moment when I was supposed to sing Anta, I was just totally blank. I forgot the lyrics, I forgot the melody, I forgot the tune, everything. And everyone was like, and I'm seeing them and I'm getting more nervous. And I was like, what to do now? I was totally blank. And my mother from there was like, "Ooh, lali, ooh, likhi mehendi." She was helping me to, remember the lyrics of the song so that I can sing, but I was totally blank. And I just came down the stage and I felt so embarrassed that time. I, and that was such a, there are some experiences that, बहुत आपको एम्बैरेस इतना कर देते हैं कि आप बहुत डरते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम वो करने के पहले. So 5 years after that, I never, stepped up for a solo competition. I never sang solo. So I would say, wasted my 5 years just after that one worst experience. So, but I used to sing in my school choir group. I was a part of the choir group, and I used to do group singing. So when I got into my college in the first year, there was this competition. Now again, solo competition. So after 5 years, I again thought of just participating and giving it a try to sing in this competition. And this time when I sang, I was my legs were shivering, my hands were shivering, and मेरे को बहुत स्टेज फियर था. ठीक है. और what happened was I thought कि सामने कोई नहीं बैठा. I just closed my eyes. I started singing. It was this song, मुस्कुराने की वजह by Arijit Singh. I started the song. I completed the song, and then when I opened my eyes, there were people cheering, and that was something like I thought, yes, I have done something good. This time I have not messed up. So that was a good experience, and that time I won first consolation prize, and so that boosted my confidence a bit for solo singing. Then 2 months after that, we had annual day where I again auditioned for that, and I was selected. And then because my college has played a vital role in eradicating my I would say stage fear. I used to have a lot of stage fear. So I'm very thankful for to my college. It's been a great experience, and since then I've been performing in my annual day. And अभी इतना स्टेज फियर मतलब है ही नहीं, बट थोड़ा बहुत नर्वसनेस तो होती है, बस वो है अभी. And which I think is required, should be there. That is my experience. That is how I started.
This is so nice. It's stories that like these that are more inspiring to people because I mean, competition is there everywhere, and winning and losing, I think, is just it's all in the game. But sharing stories like these that kind of motivate more people like you to stay inspired, to stay kind of focused on their work, I think is so important. And that's why I'm so happy that I brought you on the show, Tej, because
Thank you. Means a lot.
stories
Thank
like
you so
these
much.
really reach a lot of people. It's very relatable. So, well, awesome. You've definitely come a long way from there. You're not nervous at all. You don't look nervous about the show. So, and you went to Arrived, which is I don't even know how many hundreds of thousands of people watched the show. Speaking of which, how was that experience? So how did you get to know about the contest? How did you apply? How was your audition experience like?
Uh, Arrived was an amazing experience, and I used to give auditions for like big reality shows like Saregama Pa. Then I gave audition for the stage. It's the English singing reality show of India. I used to give auditions there, but I have failed miserably. पहले ही round में बाहर. So I have faced a lot of failures. Like, but there was this thing that I used to just give auditions now and then. और इससे एक चीज सीखने मिली कि I never expected the outcome of what it will be. Like, I used to do my thing and I never used to think what will happen, because whenever you expect something, and you don't get it, it is it hurts very badly. But when you don't expect and you don't get it, so उसमें तो कोई बात ही नहीं, because आपने कभी expect ही नहीं किया था. But when you don't expect and you get something which you have not expected, that is something that is very overwhelming. So ये मैंने एक लाइफ में फिलोसफी एक्सपीरियंस से सीखी है कि you should never expect anything. You should just go on doing your work. Just go on, doing hard work and just go on doing giving auditions and doing your practice daily, everything, and don't expect what will be the outcome. So talking about Arrived, I got a call from one of the people from Arrived's team that there is this show going to come. It will be a YouTube's original reality show, and it is A.R. Rahman's reality show, and the name itself says it all. So firstly, I thought कि ऐसे बोलना नहीं चाहिए, but I thought it's a fake thing because Rahman sir have never done any
नहीं, आप
reality
बोल
show
सकते
that
हो,
too.
पूजा ने भी वही बोला था. पूजा also said, I can't believe it, like, are you kidding me?
Yes,
I
exactly.
think
Because
सबका reaction वही था, because it was the first time something like this was happening online. So I mean, people are used to Indian Idol and Saregama, but YouTube originals show on YouTube, I think, was a little suspicious, like, to begin with. So it's
exactly,
okay.
exactly. So ऊपर से रहमान sir का नाम, that it is his show, because Rahman sir have never done reality shows. I have never seen him, judging a full-fledged reality show. He come as a chief guest there, but not a full-fledged show. So I was a bit confused whether it is real or not. So they asked me for my video, so I just sent them. I thought कि try कर देते क्या होता है, इसमें कोई बात नहीं है, भेजनी है video, just we had to send the video, so I just sent them. And after I think 2 to 3 weeks, I get a call from the team of Arrived saying that they need more videos. This time they suggested us songs and they wanted us to sing the songs which they have told us. So I recorded those songs and I gave it to them. Then again, after a week, I get a call from the team saying that you are supposed to come at our office and for an audition round. So then, a lot of audition rounds I gave there in the office online. And after that, I was traveling to Amritsar, Punjab, in India. And while at the time I was in train, I got a call again that you have been selected in the top 100. And I did not believe because कभी मैं ये लेवल तक पहुंचा नहीं था किसी भी रियलिटी शो में. So I was very amazed by the fact that I have been selected in the top 100. So they said me that so the dates and timing and schedule of the studio round. I came back to Bombay. I went there. I gave the audition, like first time watching, first time in front of a camera, professional camera in the studio. Now this time there was no one. In this round there was no one, not even Raman sir, not Shaan sir, not even there was no one. We were supposed to just sing in front of the camera, and but we were not aware how they will be shortlisting us for the next round. So after 2 days of that, I get again a call from the team saying that I've been selected in the top 30 and I have to come to stay in the hotel for like 10 to 12 days. And we are supposed to shortlist you further. So I was like, why not? Like I have been selected by Rahman sir, which was such a big thing, which was itself like a motivation and inspiration that आप जिसका म्यूजिक सुन सुन के बड़े हुए हो, यू नो जिनको आप इतना मानते हो, he heard you and he selected you out of like so many people. You have been selected in the top 30. So that was a big thing for me, and the experience there was so good, so amazing. I stayed there for like 12 days in the hotel, and my co-contestants were so good. You might have seen Pooja Tiwari, one of the amazing contestants. Um, but वहाँ जाने के बाद, I have never shared this with anyone, but I would like to say this thing here. कि I underestimated myself a lot. The reason being, there were many contestants who have already done some of the other reality shows there, my two contestants. And then there was many of them who were professionally classically trained singers, which I am not. I just started learning class that time. So I was like, Arey, how will I be able to compete with these people? These are so amazing, musicians. Pura pura din we used to do, rehearsals and everything. But I learned a lot from these people. Everyone is in our circle. Uh, कुछ ना कुछ हमेशा सीखते रहते हैं एक दूसरे से, and it's amazing, and it's great to be a part of such an amazing show. So yeah, that was an amazing journey.
Okay, very cool. So when you went back home, what was the reaction of all your friends and your family? How did they react? एकदम
uh,
overnight आप तो popular हो गए होंगे. Everyone is like
I,
autograph, please.
uh, this happened in my college, especially when I came back to my college. So people around me came, like, they knew that I sing, but they, after the episode was aired on YouTube, this happened. So annual day tha tabhi, and I was going to perform in the college. Or tabhi college, the host announced कि we have Tejinder Singh, who has been among the top 30 contestants of Mr. A.R. Rahman's arrived. He's on the show right now. क्योंकि तभी आ रहा था वो. They did not know कि हो गया है, हमारा shoot हो गया है. So I performed there, and the moment I got back, got in the green room, I see that there are so many people coming for photographs, and that was altogether a different experience, because I never experienced that thing before arrived. They were like, "Sir, we need a photograph." So we need a photograph, and mostly, like, they were all my college students, like they were all my college colleagues, my juniors, and I was like, "Really, is this happening to me?" I was like, "कभी हुआ नहीं है ऐसे." So that was a great experience. And घर पे तो they knew what is happening, and they all are very supportive. Everyone in my family, especially my dad, he's very supportive. Whenever I used to go to any reality shows auditions, he used to always come with me. Even in Arrived, he came, and he's very supportive for me with respect to my music. So that was amazing.
Yeah, I forgot कि अभी autograph नहीं photograph पूछते हैं लोग.
Yeah,
It's the selfie
photography पूछा
generation,
था
right?
सबने.
So
Yeah,
I know. No, I just realized you're pretty wise for a 21-year-old, and you've shared like lots of nuggets of very important information with so many of our upcoming musicians. So that said, how important do you think classical music training is? Why did you start classical music training when you were already doing so well in film music? Why did you kind of, shift path, and why did you start learning classical music?
see, you would have heard this thing from everyone that classical music forms your base for singing. No, and that's very true. I used to sing उसके पहले, when I started learning classical music, I used to sing just by listening to different kinds of music. But when I started learning classical music, I saw a very considerate change in myself. There was like a good change, a positive change in my singing, the technicalities of singing. I understood when to take breaths. I understood how to take harkats. It is very important. It is very important for a singer to learn these things. But at the same time, I've also seen there are people who are not trained, but they have a good knowledge of all these technicalities. But the thing is, when you learn classical music, you also learn, different. You will be able to sing any kind of music, because it is so strong. Classical music is so strong. Let it be your alankars, let it be your paltas, let it be your rags, your bandish, anything. When you learn that, it forms the base so strong that you can sing anything. So it is very important to learn it. And I'm still learning, and the learning process never ends. So classical is very important.
There's a lot of give and take between these genres, right? Like, for example, there are a lot of classical musicians who transition to film music, and vice versa. There's a lot of like very popular, say even Shankar Mahadevan sir, right? So he started with film music, and then he started, looking into getting trained. classically. So, given that, do you feel like it is the right path to take? Do you think it's important for, say, kids, who are just getting introduced to this music? Do you think it's important for them to start with classical music training and then explore other genres, or what is your take on that?
See, talking about my experience, as I said, I started very late, learning classical music very late. But I would suggest people to start it at the early stage. But I've also seen at the same time, I've also seen people who have, started singing from the age of like 4 or 5, started learning from the age of 4 or 5 classical music. They are, they are just their scope is very limited to that respective genre, that is classical music. Because when you learn classical music, there are way too many rules. You cannot go beyond that rule. When you are supposed to sing a rag, you cannot touch a note outside that rag, right? But that is not true with Bollywood music or say light music. That is not true. So you need to, at the same time, you need to, listen to different genres as well. You need to listen to Western music. You need to listen to blues. You need to listen to jazz, everything. So that will widen your scope. That will help you, emerge a good musician. Because if you are just learning classical music, that's very amazing. That's good. But it is only good when you want to just pursue your career in classical music. That's what I would say. But if you want to be like a Bollywood musician or singer in Bollywood, or an independent musician, you need to have knowledge of Western music as well, harmonies. You need to have knowledge of. There are many things, So all these are required, but that you will not get only from classical. That is the truth. And जो क्लासिकल वाले हैं उनको भले ही थोड़ा बुरा लगे, but that is the fact, that is something which is true. Because I have seen people, those who are totally inclined towards classical, when when we say them to sing on a guitar, they are not able to sing it on guitar. When we say to sing it on keyboard, they are not able to sing, because they are like, unko they need tanpura, they need tabla or rhythm, they need a harmonium, so that is that it limits the scope. But it is very good if you want to pursue your career in classical music. But if you want to be an independent musician, you need to have information and knowledge of all the different genres as well.
Yeah, I mean that's a good perspective, I mean, but as a technologist, right? So I'm just trying to draw parallels here. So my analogy would be like, either you were either a generalist or you're a specialist, right? So the specialists are purists. So they only want to specialize
Exactly.
in that one particular art form, but it is about the depth for them. They want to kind of deep dive and see as much as they can into this art form, versus like a generalist, right? They do a little bit of data, they do a little bit of project management, they do everything. So I think, even say the non-purists are, I mean, especially the emerging ones. I've seen this trend with so many of these artists that we've been speaking to. They learn more than one genre. They learn more than one instrument. They learn more than one genre, and they experiment with this music itself. They try to compose. When they compose, they have influences from various cultures that they've been exposed to, right? So I think it's all. I mean, it's all part of the system, right? And what is important
that's
is that,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I said. When you want to pursue classical music, you are supposed to, have an in-depth knowledge of that particular field. Because classical music is not something which you can learn in like say 4 or 5 years. You need years and years of practice, and you need to dedicate your life to that. It is never ending. So classical music is something which you need to, you will require a lot many years of practice to pursue that particular field. And talking about the general genres which you are saying that you need to have in today's era, you need to have knowledge. Let it be general knowledge, but you need to have knowledge of other forms of art as well, forms of genres as well. Now, see, if I give you an example, because I have my musician friends, who are purely into classical music. Now, they they make fun of singers who are not trained. They say that, "Arey, इसको तो क्लासिकल म्यूजिक नहीं आता, ये कौन सा सिंगर है? बट दैट्स नॉट करेक्ट. Now if you, what you expect, you expect Kavita Krishnamurti ji to, sing Aur Raja. Will that sound good? No. If Neha Kakkar is singing Aur Raja, it will suit to her voice because she have got that texture, and because of that texture, she has been given this kind of genre to sing. That is very important. People, classical music is way too important to, to understand music, to sing correct technicalities. That is important. But at the same time, if you want to get into this Bollywood industry, or if you want to get into independent music, you need to have the knowledge of other music as well.
And I think that seems to be the group think of a lot of people your generation, especially like the early 20s. I see that they are very versatile. They can sing any genre, they can play multiple instruments, and their, like I said, I think their exposure is also a lot more than what, our
Exactly.
ancestors had, right? In terms of access, there's so much more access to content now, which wasn't the case back then, right? So their source of knowledge was more or less in the olden days. It was more or less just one or two gurus that they used to stick to, and that was where 90% of their knowledge was coming from. But now that's not the case, right? Now you have like multiple sources that you learn from. So
Exactly.
anyway, that is like a very good perspective. So we've been talking for a while now, Tej. So why don't you start singing something for us?
Sure. So the first song I'll sing is the one I sang in Arrived, which is one of my very favorite songs. ओढ़ूं तेरी काया, 16 सिंगार में सजा लूं, संगों की ये रहना, इसमें त्योहार में मना लूं, खुशबू तेरी छू के कस्तूरी हो जाऊं, कितनी फीकी थी मैं, सिंदूरी हो जाऊं, सुर से जरा बहकी हुई मेरी दुनिया की बड़ी बेसुरी, सुर में तेरे ढलने लगी, बनी रे पिया मैं बनी बांसुरी, जिंदगी ने पहनी है मुस्कान करने लगी है, इतना करम क्यों न जाने, करवट लेने लगे हैं अरमान फिर भी है आँख नम क्यों न जाने, ओ that was O Saiya from the movie Agnipath, one of my very favorite songs.
Superb. Very,
Thank you,
very,
thank you,
very, very beautifully sung. I know,
thank
like,
you.
I think, I mean, even though, you were not classically trained, I think your harkats and those sangatis was just, it was spot on. Maybe you have like a very good ear for detail, right? You're able to kind of listen to it and then try to imitate it as closely as possible. Even that takes a lot of talent also.
Yeah, you can say that. It's just that I just listen to the music and I try to, get that. If there is a harkat or a part which I'm not able to, sing, I just go on listening to that again and again and try to sing it in a tempo lower than what originally it is, and then try to sing that. That is how I practice. I used to practice before classical music.
I know ear training is actually underrated, even in classical music. Like, there's not enough emphasis that is given to ear training. But I think in order to kind of distinguish a good frequency from a bad one, right, you need to listen more. Only then you'll be like,
Exactly.
okay, that one sounds good. This one does not sound good.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah.
need to kind of, yeah, train your ears. So awesome. So thank you so much for singing today. Are you working on any exciting projects that you want to talk about? What's in store for Tej in, say, in the next year?
Yeah. So I had a project coming on this year. I was working on a Punjabi song. I'm focusing more on Punjabi music right now. So I had meetings before just this lockdown was announced. I had some meetings and we had lineups, we had projects in lineup. But due to this lockdown, we are supposed to now sit at our home. So we have just it has paused everything. So abhi thoda shanti hai. The moment everything will open, we are going to just totally work on it. And very soon, I'll be coming up with new Punjabi songs for you guys.
Nice. Are you going to be uploading these on YouTube?
Uh, it will be uploaded on a particular, label for a label.
Oh, you're singing for a label.
Yeah,
Very nice. Okay, that's big. Can we know which one it is?
actually, it is. They are starting their own label, and
Mhm.
they are thinking of, giving independent musicians a chance. So that's not a very popularized music label, but they have just started, and I'm glad these people are giving opportunities to artists like me, to uh, you know showcase their music to the world. That's a great thing.
It's a great initiative. See, I love that so many different people are trying so many different things for the musicians, right? I mean, that is one thing I think that was always lacking, and now a lot of people are taking an interest in promoting, arts, right? So that is pretty cool. Anyway, so well, we've talked for a while now. So, is there anything in terms of um, for our viewers? Do you have any message, or do you have any upcoming concerts or something that you want to highlight?
Okay, so the message I would like to give is never stop learning, never stop practicing. Go on practicing every day, even if it is even if you're not doing your riyaz, your vocal practices, your vocal exercises, or it may be any instrument. Like if you're learning tabla or harmonium, if you're not doing any practice daily, one important thing is that you should go on listening to music every day. You should not stop listening to music because कोई भी चीज को आपको अगर मेंटेन रखना है और उसको इम्प्रूव करना है, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू हैव अ कंसिस्टेंट improvement in it. So that improvement could be with your practical approach. That could be by listening to music. So never stop that. That is one message I would like to give to everyone because I have experienced that myself. And yeah, you guys can follow me on my Instagram handle where I'm pretty active. So you can find my music there. I usually post covers of songs. I also, I'm looking forward to my original music content. And you guys can follow at the rate Tejinder Singh Music. It's like a pretty kind of long handle name, but it is Tejinder Singh Music. You can follow me on my Facebook page at Tejinder Singh, and there you will get the updates of my music. And very soon I'm coming with new original music content.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you so much again, Tej, for speaking with us today. For all of you
Thank you so
watching,
much.
we'll see you next week with another artist. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.